fine, bro. I'll just
I could have done that. Didn't ask.
Doing a rotation.
Didn't ask.
She's like, I'm not on camera. I don't do behind the scenes work.
I'm strictly talent.
Not if I got the face. I don't care.
Hey guys, welcome back to Endeavor. So we're going to talk about a really basic concept, Mike and I, when it comes to utilizing high gear. So high gear suits developed by Tony Blauer, insanely effective training tools. We utilize the helmets and the chest plates a lot. The full suits are phenomenal as well, but just for quickness, kind of ease in and out, we use the helmets and the chest plates a lot. So most people, when they put high gear on, they kind of, for the most part, beat the shit out of each other. Which is fine, and there's a lot of really good stuff that you can do with that. If you've seen videos, you know, on Instagram of like ECQT trainings where they can go in and hit, and the whole purpose of the gear was to be put together so people could actively move and hit each other, which is awesome. But one thing that a lot of people don't utilize is actually training slow in the high gear helmet. So when we're trying to get people to hit, we have a tendency without gear on in general to pull strikes. I don't care what system you're in, what it goes into. If I go in and even if I punch past his face, or if I do this and I stop, or we used to do like the big shoulder punch where it's like, okay, I'm not hitting him in the head, but I'm at least making contact. All that stuff's fine and dandy. It allows you to work quickly and go through it. But the reality of the situation is I have to spend some time teaching my brain to allow me to hit the face and not only hit it, but also drive through it. And that can be done slow-mo if you have kind of a comfort level with the person going into it. But the reality of it is it can be done really well with high gear helmets on. So we were doing some drills in class the other day, and it's fascinating that even when I put a high gear helmet on, and where we know for the most part he's relatively covered, and even when I tell people to move slow, everybody in the class, you know, they'd be in here, they'd be going, and this is what their punches would look like, right? And yeah, okay, I'm making contact, but that's not how I'm punching anybody. If I'm punching somebody, I want my fist to hit and drive all the way through their head. I want their head to move so much with that strike that I'm getting full shifting and slamming of the brain in there. I'm messing with the neck, the head's moving. If we end up on the ground, I want to be following all the way through so that my fist goes not only through their head, but their head bashes down into the concrete. So putting on the high gear helmet can be phenomenal for that. What it does is it allows me in certain positions to hit, which most people do when they have high gear helmets on, but to follow through with my hits, if done slowly. Because even with a high gear helmet on, if I headbutt him as hard as possible, I'm going to jar his brain. I don't want to do that. So it allows me from here, if I want to practice a headbutt, first off, I want to be looking for targeting below the hard part of his head. I can go in and it's not this, it's this, where I'm driving my head all the way through. Or if I want to throw a punch, it's this, where I'm punching the whole way through. Or an elbow here, where I'm driving the elbow the entire way through. But you can't do that 500 miles an hour. Even when you watch these videos of guys beating the shit out of each other and it looks full speed, the strikes are generally this, right? And yeah, they're hitting hard and hitting fast, but there's no follow through. And the follow through is what I want. I'm not looking for rabbit punches, things like that. So utilizing the high gear helmet, but slowing things down while utilizing the high gear helmet can really allow you to drive into your strikes, teach you to clear hitting the way that we actually want to hit and to follow through without additional bumps, bruises, you know, accidentally even slow, kind of clipping with an elbow and cutting people open. So it's a phenomenal training tool to kind of get into. So when you put it on, you don't always have to just beat the shit out of each other, see who's the toughest, and test, right? There's a difference between training and testing, and I need to develop that sensitivity of driving through and following through when I hit things. Because psychologically, if I've spent too much time pulling punches, striking mitts, you know, we're only kind of half hitting when we go into it, it's just not the same. I want to be able to follow through, I want to be able to clip, I want to be able to break stuff. So just something to play around with, concept to kind of deal with. If you don't have high gear helmets, I highly suggest getting them. Wink, wink. Maybe Tony will send me some. Just kidding. See you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.